Why does everyone in the Big Ten become Iowa?
Everything evolves to eventually become a crab.
Ryan Day wanted the crab fight.
This team has two claws and he wants to snip at you with them.
He will play like the crab if he feels threatened.
Right. Okay. We need to talk about the Sherrone Moore implosion in Michigan. Okay, so this before just to save everyone's life right now, I'm just gonna come out and say, disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. We only are going off what information is publicly available right now, and everything we're doing is speculation technically. Now, let forth with the speculation, please.
I think the big thing is it's like this is a funny situation. It's funny. There's no helping
It's
that.
it's funny. I don't.
But there is a part of it where it's like, oh, this man was outside this woman's house and he opens the door and he starts waving a knife around allegedly, and it's like, okay, this isn't funny. And then he's like, oh, I'm gonna hurt myself, and it's like, okay, I get like hypothetically like getting caught cheating and then being like, I'm gonna kill myself is funny, but not in real life. So if that is what the proposed story is, we can at least acknowledge this is a serious portion of a very unserious man's story. So now, fully disclaimered, let's have fun.
We should take it. Okay. Just for anyone who doesn't know, the head coach of Michigan, Sherrone Moore, has been accused. Well, first of all, he's been fired. He's been fired because he allegedly had a affair with a female staffer, who she then came forward, and then he got fired, and then went to her house and broke in, attempted to break in, all
That was
something
one
like
of the
that, and
things.
then
That was one of the disputes. Was he didn't break in by definition. The door was unlocked because I guess Ann Arbor's a small town and people do that there.
Hey, it's not breaking and entering. It's just entering, and you can do that.
okay,
You
well, either
can't,
way,
famously, you can't just enter, but he did not break and enter. That's not the charges that were alleged. We're very litigious over here.
then he threatened self-harm, and then he got arrested, and now that's where everything stands. A couple pieces of color, the people online seem to have deduced who this female staffer is, who I won't name, but allegedly she had been promoted multiple times and was being paid a lot of money during this affair. So that's
A
obviously corrupt.
55% raise, according to some sources.
Yes.
Uh,
So that's obviously corrupt. But anyway, John, you have Michigan connections. Explain.
So, first of all, it is hilarious that like something like this is happening at Michigan because for literally my entire life, for background, my basically my entire dad's side of my family went to Michigan, so I've been involved with Michigan fandom to some extent for most of my life, and literally for my entire life, everyone on the Michigan side makes a huge point about how we do things the right way. We're better than everyone else. You know, we're not cheating and paying players under the table like all these bullshit SEC teams who keep winning national. That's why we're down, is because we don't cheat. And then for the entire last 4 years of the Jim Harbaugh, Sherrone Moore experience at Michigan is just constant scandal, constant cheating. And this is a different one, right? Because it's not on the field type shit, but man, it's just funny. They Michigan has got to just completely clean house and don't get anyone in this job who has any sort of connection whatsoever to Michigan, the Harbaughs, etc. Just flush it and start over. It's the only thing you got to do.
There's also the element which is that you kind of know that he wouldn't have been fired if he beat Ohio State and made the playoff. Like I kind of think they just fired him because they had a window to fire him without paying his payout. Like just being a little bit cynical. But yes, Michigan's had the cheating scandal. Sherrone Moore was directly deleted evidence during that. They have another staffer who was like stealing images of women, something weird. I don't know the
Yeah.
details about that. There's now this. If there was ever an argument for lack of institutional control over Michigan's football program, this is it. You've got scandals coming out from every angle. Shit, Missouri got like the death penalty for like nothing years ago. I know Michigan has a lot of lawyers, but I actually do believe like a 1 year postseason ban or something. Like just one season, but holy shit, this is horrible.
Well, that's the thing. It's the integrity of your operations does not necessarily have to be sound. And if it does, then now you have to take it up with the Better Business Bureau or something like that, even though they're a nonprofit or something. But then it's like, I can't ban you from the postseason for your coach cheating on his wife. Like
Yeah.
I
that's where
can ban you for cheating in the football game though.
But they didn't do a postseason ban. They kind of said without saying that the NCAA is going to be moving away from stuff like a postseason ban because it's, as long as the people who actually did it have been removed, then you're kind of just punishing players for no reason, right? So like they just got hit with what, a $30 million fine over the Stallion stuff and then said, cool, let's move on. Which by the way, Sherrone Moore was gonna be suspended for a game or two next year as well.
how long are they gonna he was suspended this year, right?
Yeah. Well, because they did the weird
What?
thing where they picked two games to like in
And
the
they
middle of
said
the
we're
season.
not just gonna get this over with. You're not gonna coach the Fresno game. You're
Yeah.
gonna okay. This is what happens. Like there's a lot to be said about like institutional credibility and having accountability in a sport and in a business that has no true oversight besides like television networks. So like it's I don't know. This is the not fun part of the conversation beyond like the actual dangerous aspects of it. It's just like this is what happens when there is no adults in the room at all. And when you have Michigan, that is this like, big moneyed program, it's strange that things can be allowed to veer this far out of control for this long with so many people being like, well, obviously, I would never sell out a Michigan man or something like that. The Sherrone Moore news came out, and then another reporter is like, well, this was actually his third strike. Huh? I thought
Yeah.
there was no exceptions. I thought this was acted upon swiftly. Then we get even the way it's covered with Adam Schefter, another Michigan man, who again comes out on the side of like, well, we haven't heard Sherrone Moore's side of the story. It's like, sure, I guess. It's just
Fair
funny
enough,
that
I
like
guess, yeah.
the day you found out, you're like, well, obviously, I gotta hear from the guy who's going to jail because because nobody gets it. He was maybe cheating with a staffer and maybe showed up at her house and maybe he broke in at the time. But it's fine. But I don't want to get too hasty. And it's just so again, there's no adults in the room. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
I actually think the NCAA should stay 40 miles away from this thing. The NCAA is a totally toothless organization, and this has nothing to do with football on the field or, in recruiting or any of that. I I don't trust or respect the NCAA to do anything that makes sense with this. So just let the legal system play out. Dude's going to jail. Michigan needs to fire their athletic director because they've had, across all of their sports, right? Like they had incidents with Juwan Howard like punching opposing basketball coaches. Like their hockey coach got fired recently for having a toxic environment. Like you've got to clean house at the department level and go forward. Do we think that Ward Manuel, the Michigan athletic director, is going to make this the next hire for this role?
No, I mean, I think he'll be literally in the position, but he's not making the decision.
Yeah.
That it's going to be the board of directors. And you know what? Just can we just say anytime the phrase Michigan man is stated, it's boys club. Okay? That's what that means. It's boys club. Um, but on that note, yes, Michigan now goes. We were all laughing at Penn State's hiring cycle, which they actually got lucky. Michigan, now who does that leave them to hire? Who's available that they could get this late in the cycle? They purposely waited to launch this investigation after signing day so they could secure their class to some degree. But who's available?
Yeah, I think that you have to consider doing a Stanford style year-long interim and get working on it into next cycle. I mean, try to get someone in the next 3 weeks. You've got until January 2nd, I think, is when the transfer portal opens. So you have some
I've
time to play with. But like you said, who's available? Everyone's already gotten extended or moved jobs already.
There's two names I've heard. PJ Fleck at Minnesota and Eli Drinkowitz. Both which I think would be good hires. I think Drinkowitz would actually be pretty good. Um, those are two names I've heard. I think they like PJ Fleck because he's in the conference. Um, I've heard Luke Fickle, which is like crazy
There's
considering
no way.
he's gonna get promotion. For some reason, I always hear Matt Rule as if he's just nailed this Nebraska turnaround or something. Um, yeah, I've heard more than a few names
I've heard I've heard that they would, as far as like big flashy swings, that they would try to go after Kalen DeBoer if they lose the playoff game. Not because he's going to get fired by Alabama, but because he might want to beat the posse out of town, if you will.
true, but dude, but like Alabama's objectively a better program than Michigan to be the head football coach. Like I don't understand where this like air like this idea that like Michigan is that level of I mean they are a national
They,
title
y-
caliber job, but
when's the
Alabama
last time
wins.
Alabama won a title?
They've got like 10, dude. Like what do you want me to say?
Michigan also
They've got
has
like
like 15.
I know,
Now,
but like
granted, they're all back when you could play high school teams in
yeah,
the
they're
1900s, but
yes, post integration Alabama has 10. Okay, it's not even close. Like I'm just saying, yes. I
I
think they
don't
should
think
go for
that's likely to be clear, but that's something that
no,
I've
no,
seen
yeah.
around.
Yes. I think they should get PJ Fleck. I kind of think he's a good hire for what they need right now.
Brian Kelly.
They would he's you know what? He would actually not be a bad pick, honestly. Like I don't even think he's that bad of a coach. And he's like he coached the Midwest. He was at an elitist institution previously, like before
We'll
LSU.
get
He's
to
kind of
them.
yes, yeah, yeah. But my hat in the ring is PJ Fleck. Maybe this season, maybe not, but yeah.
PJ Fleck is definitely corny enough to be a Michigan coach. But Brian Kelly would help with the juice cleanse they need to experience because he would
Would
turn
he?
everyone, yes,
Yeah,
because
everyone
he's so
hates that
repellent.
guy.
Everyone would be like, I can't stand this guy. This is not worth being a Michigan man. I'm gone. And then you get to clean house and start over. And you can fire Brian Kelly in like 3 years and everyone will just laugh. It's fine. No, there's not going to be some booster that's like, I can't believe they axed Brian Kelly.
You know, you know who I have heard that I'm like, well, he's a scumbag enough that he would maybe take the job. Lincoln Riley. He's got the number one class coming in, so I don't think he's gonna do. I would like. I mean, This man is not moving from Los Angeles to Ann Arbor, but it's not because of any loyalty to USC, I'll tell you that much.
God, dude. Well, that's I don't know. I guess that's all for
Yeah, I don't have too
Michigan.
much more.
The Sherrone Moore story is still going, and I feel like we didn't get too ahead of our skis talking about it. Uh, I it's funny that he is gone. It's funny that Sherrone Moore made a bad situation immediately worse. It's funny that when you talk about like how there is no accountability for anybody in professional settings anymore, that if he just said, "Ah, damn, you caught me," and went home and packed up his stuff from his wife's place, that this he would be coaching at Louisiana Tech in 3 years and everything would be fine. Uh I don't know.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
that I didn't expect to be so drained by this whole thing, but yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
happy. Yeah, fuck Michigan.
in an industry where the joke is always like, man, I would love to be a fired college football head coach because you can just like sit on your ass and get $20 million. To see a situation where it just completely implodes and you get a firing for cause that, yes, is definitely the university trying to just save on the buyout, but also is totally justified. Like, because normally, like with when Tennessee tried to fire Jeremy Pruitt for cause, where they like self-investigated to find NCAA violations so they could get out of his buyout. Like, that's total horseshit. This
Yeah.
one at least is like, yeah, dude, you can't have a relationship with someone who works for you. That's just you can't do that.
And then people knew about it for so
For
long.
years. For
It
years. That's
like
why I say it's not nothing to do with that. If they were winning enough football games, they would not care and have kept him. There's nothing preventing. This is an industry where Urban Meyer has been the head coach of multiple football teams. It does not matter at all. Like, yes,
Dude, you
yes,
just you just need to go about it the Joey Freshwater way, allegedly, and just find random college girls at bars, like allegedly.
yes.
your face just totally shifted.
Moving on to we mentioned Brian Kelly. Moving on to Notre Dame, who opted out after being the first team out of the playoff. I was about to say snubbed, which I don't believe they were snubbed. But yes, being the first team out of the playoff, opts out of the bowl entirely. Kind of crossing the Rubicon in terms of like setting a precedent now that teams are just not going to play meaningless bowl games, which on some level I kind of agree with because bowl games, there's too many of them. They're soulless corporate events that I kind of despise on some level, but
The
it is them being a little bitch too. Like,
the soulless corporate bowl games are the ones that have like 6-6 teams, right? Like I want to see college football being played amongst top 25 teams in December. Like
true.
what else am I gonna do on a Tuesday afternoon when it's December 23rd and I'm not at work? Like but yeah, fuck Notre Dame. I have to retract some stuff that I said last weekend about how I felt for Notre Dame fans because they had been getting told all year that they were in and then they get the rug pulled at the last second. No, fuck you. The way you reacted within 2 hours of me saying that completely changes everything I feel about it. You went on a like 5 day long press tour of filling your diaper publicly. Like, what the fuck was that?
Again, adults in the room, their AD was like leading the charge on that tour. And it's so bad. A Brett Yormark, the Big 12 commissioner, went on the record. There's a voice recording of him saying, like, oh, his behavior's been egregious. And I'd tell him that if he was in the room. What?
Here's
Hell
the
yeah.
The
thing.
men in suits should not be fighting in front of me. That's crazy.
Here's the thing though. He's being rewarded for it. They've now announced a rule, which is that if Notre Dame specifically is in the top 12 in the rankings, they have an auto bid into the
Why?
playoff now.
Why the fuck do we give Notre Dame all this special treatment? Like of the CFP like board committee, whatever the fuck, where it's the 10 conference commissioners and Notre Dame's athletic director. There's no other school who has a single like representative on there. And this is exactly how Notre Dame gets all this preferential treatment. Like, what do you mean you have a special like exception where you over every other team get just rewarded for playing three Power Five schools and a G5 schedule? Like, what?
Yeah, if they are in the top 12, they have an auto bid. And also, on top of that, when Notre Dame makes the playoff, they get the entire conference payout just to them. When another team makes it, like when an SEC team, for example, makes it, they split it among the conference. But when Notre Dame makes it now, they get the entire payout. So, I mean, it's an insane amount of money. And it's
Yeah.
not even just an exception for any team that's not in a conference. It is them specifically gets this exception. So at this point, I'm like, okay, listen, first of all, you got the team that made it over you, you directly lost to. Like, you cannot be that upset about this. I
Right.
understand the whole pot, like, you were ranked ahead of them and then nothing happened and then you were ranked behind them, but you should have never been ahead of them. Okay.
Yes.
That's the first thing. The second thing is, like, now they will never book a big game. They literally will never do it because they just have to be undefeated. So just play random bumfuck schools that want to play on NBC and you're in.
The thing that I don't understand is like, hey, Notre Dame, you could have also lost to Miami and still made the playoff. You just had to beat Texas A&M. You played two good teams all year. You go 1-1, like you're fine. You're golden. I don't get. I, it's just
Yeah.
it's cowardice top to bottom, and like I kind of hope that the reports about other conferences threatening to freeze Notre Dame out of future schedules, I kind of hope they do that. Like, fuck Notre Dame, dude. If this is how you're gonna act, you shouldn't get that. Now, granted, that would suck because I'm really excited for Auburn to play Notre Dame in 27 and 28. I want to go to South Bend, and now I have an excuse. But like, fuck Notre Dame, dude. I can't get over it. And also, the amount of indignation that they're putting towards the ACC for not like lobbying for Notre Dame to be in over an ACC member is crazy. You're not in the fucking conference. Like, why would they lobby for you? If you want that sort of like, if you want the media arm of a football conference to prop you up, which also doesn't even matter. There's no way the committee is influenced by that type of shit. But like join a fucking conference and you can get that benefit, but you can't you don't get it with this weird like half-ass relationship you have with the ACC. Of course they're going to try to politic for their school. Like which again, you lost to this year.
Yeah. I think sorry, Josh, what were you gonna say?
The final thing for Notre Dame specifically, opting out of the bowl game they did, is that they're opting out of the Pop Tarts Bowl, one of the more fun bowls. Uh, but not only that, I know for a fact in 2019, Iowa State played against Notre Dame for the first time ever in that same stadium. Nothing has changed. They missed the playoffs and played a bowl game. The only difference is they're mad this time. Like they're not better than anything. Like when they were going what 8-4 with Chip Kelly, they weren't better than anybody. They were still Notre Dame at the time. In fact, they were closer to being Notre Dame than they. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
But like it's just how can you reward somebody for being a baby? And I mean, yeah, I don't
They
know,
have
whatever.
NBC.
I'm
That's
not
the answer.
that. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
struggling to put my points together. I'm just so baffled that you
Yeah.
can be in a situation where okay, there's no adults in the room, so it is who poops their diaper the hardest that will get rewarded because adults don't have that type of competition.
For the record, I'm not upset about them opting out of this bowl game because I'm like, fuck these It's called the Pop Tarts Bowl. This is an embarrassing corporate creation that I don't care if it's a good bowl game. I fucking hate it. And also, the bowl system existed when there was not a formalized postseason thing. I am fully on board with the idea to just get rid of the entire bowl system entirely. This thing, I loved it, but you killed it. It's dead. Let's just accept it and move on. It's a zombie creation that does not need to exist anymore. Okay. We have a playoff system now. It used to be that you didn't have a playoff system. You would just go to the bowl games you went to, and that's why they existed. And there was like 10 of them. Now there's 400 of them, and we have a yeah, I'm fine with it. The players aren't even playing in the bowl games anymore. We're not even seeing the starters. We're seeing like a preseason game for next year. It sucks. Like I'm totally down with getting rid of it.
Boo. Boo.
It's just I didn't like it. I don't like the new world, but we're in the new world now, so we have to move on.
I agree with you that I don't really care about Notre Dame opting out of this particular bowl game, but like, come on, bowls are great. It's more college football. Like, we
I
get college
agree, but
football after the season ends. Come on.
I agree, but the players don't even play in them. No one gives a
Yeah,
shit.
it's a
The
preview.
stadiums
It
are
rocks.
empty, and we have a postseason now. Like
We get to
I
see a
didn't.
Pop Tart get ritualistically sacrificed. How is that not
I will
cool?
not fucking fall for that advertising trick. I hate that our stadiums don't even have names anymore. Okay, it's Ford Field or whatever. Anyway, whatever. My point has been made.
I do want to say there is 15 or so extra practices after the season where like preseason type stuff happens where guys get to assert themselves and figure out like, oh, I shouldn't play here next year. I'm fucked. like that's good to know. And now once we take away bowl games like as a concept, not that even that's on the table, but if we were to, it's still like, oh, well, how are we going to find the next walk on that can earn a scholarship by playing well in a bowl game because he had a really strong end of the year? I mean, I know it sounds crazy now that I've said it aloud, but
Well,
it's
Here's
a
the
no,
thing.
valid course.
that's actually another reason that I'm a little bit surprised Notre Dame did this because you always hear coaches going on about how important those 15 extra practices are. I mean,
I know, but now it's the transfer portal. Like everyone's sitting
right.
out. Like, there's just this thing doesn't work anymore. Listen, I liked bowl games. To be clear, it's just we shot them in the face 15 times, and we're acting like they're still. It's dead. I don't like that they're dead, but it's dead. We just have to move on. Iowa State, Kansas State, a bunch of other schools are opting out of bowl games now, and they didn't even get snubbed from the playoffs. And like, there's nothing. Everyone's just done with this. Like,
Iowa State can't field a team. Kansas State got a new coach. All the
yeah,
coaches
but
are
they used to
leaving.
play anyway, even despite all that. They used to still do it. Like,
I guess.
it's dead. Like, that's all. You know what? All right, you know what? Speaking of Iowa State, we were about to talk. This was the next topic. Auburn has a new head coach. Iowa State has a new head coach. Kansas State has a new. Well, yeah, Kansas State has a new head coach.
Mhm.
So we want to talk a little bit about coaching introductions to the fan base, their respective fan bases. In the case of Kansas State, it's Colin Klein, who's their hometown hero. So he doesn't really have to do anything. But in the case of Auburn and Iowa State, brand new guys. So we had asked the question, what could they say to immediately win over your fan base? Josh,
Uh,
you want to talk about the Jimmy
Jimmy
Rogers?
Rogers came to Iowa State about 6 days ago now, and he was introduced during the Iowa State Iowa basketball game. It was hosted in Ames. Now, a coach can come later on in a cycle and be introduced that first week, and anything could be happening. But it just so happens that you're in a rivalry game, and it's like kind of like not going the Cyclones' way, and then your coach gets introduced at halftime and he says this, and we play the clip. The crowd was electrified by this. Now, because it's the Midwest, there was some reaction like, I can't believe this coach walked up and said the F word. Oh my goodness. But it was still like so incredible. You see a guy take his shirt off in the background and start swinging it around. I posted that video and the guy messaged me and I found out his whole like life story and everything. And his friends were like, dude, if he curses, I'm taking my shirt off. And he did. Like, this is how you win Cyclone fans over. And I'm wondering, what could a new coach do in any environment and immediately be a fan favorite? Matt Campbell is not going a week, but we are so excited just from him being like, let's beat the fucking Hawks. What?
Hey, just real quick about the Jimmy Rogers of it all. What's this story about how the Iowa State athletic director was like texting with this dude the entire year? Like, hey man, good luck out there or whatever. Like,
Because we have one of the most experienced athletic directors in college sports today, he met Jimmy Rogers at one of those famous coaching conferences. And instead of being in a hotel with him, and not in a hotel, in a hot tub with him, he got his number and was like, man, this guy's really impressive. He just needs more experience. Jimmy actually said to him, what do I need to do to be the head coach after Matt Campbell leaves? And Jamie's like, well, get some P4 experience. And he kind of did. So he moved up from South Dakota State to Washington State and then immediately left them. So he has a ton of new enemies over there.
He
But
did write them a breakup letter and then retract it. So yeah, he's not seemingly a good guy, but that's
yeah,
okay.
but that's right. He's our scumbag. And it
Yes, that's
definitely
true.
won't come back to haunt us ever.
no. And also gotta, while we're here, gotta give props to Matt Campbell for handling that situation the exact opposite way as Lane Kiffin. Like to be open and upfront with your AD the entire time so that Iowa State can make a hire like what, 4 hours after he left. Like
It was
that's cool,
so
man.
fast.
Absolutely. So what could Auburn's new head coach say to immediately win you over?
Oh, he's already done it, man. He sounds like he was built in a lab to be the exact opposite of Hugh Freeze. Like he's out here, he's cursing in the promo videos, which is not a thing that Hugh did. He's talking about defense and how he's not going to be an offensive play caller and all of this stuff. He's talking about how uh we don't recruit to win, we win so that recruiting is easier. Yes, dude. I fucking hate Hugh Freeze. It's been litigated a million times. Alex Golish seems like the exact opposite, despite them both being like offensive coaches in name or whatever. Yeah, no, Golish has done a great job endearing himself to the fans over the first few weeks of his tenure.
Yeah, I have an answer for this question for Georgia. Just to really piss off John. I'm gonna say here at the University of Georgia, we will not be hunted. A great introduction line. That immediately ingratiated him to me. Here at the University of Georgia, we will not be hunted. We are the hunters, is what he said. The most elitist possible statement.
You're the new Notre Dame head coach. What do you say?
Oh, I would throw a tantrum. I'd be like, they were out to get us. I would play into every advantage I had. Yeah. I would say the institutions hate us because we're better than them, and we still believe in God. And uh, awesome. Anything else on these before we jump to the
What
playoffs?
what does Michigan's new head coach say?
Oh, good. Well,
Fucking
I
love you, man.
starts
I
crying.
you
Honestly, the best thing that Michigan could have right now is just a gay football coach. Just he's like, there will be no nothing. I'm a
I will not
committed
have
gay
sexual
man.
relations with these women.
Yes, I am a married gay man, and I will not do anything at all to get us in trouble. No, I mean he the same thing where it's like these last few years they've been out to get us because we won a championship or we're so awesome and like you have to be a scumbag politician apparently. Anyway, on to the playoffs. Round one, our matchups are officially announced. We wanted to do something a little different instead of just picking our games, which I'd still like to do. I wanted to preview a couple of these matchups. We've got four games for this first round. First game being a rematch. Number nine Alabama at number eight Oklahoma on Friday, 8 o'clock ESPN Eastern time. What did we think about this? Because it's a rematch, and admittedly, Oklahoma won, catching some breaks in that first game. What do we think?
The only way this Alabama Oklahoma game goes poorly for me is if it's actually a good game. Because if one team just dominates another, then I get to talk shit to somebody. Because Alabama, I don't think should be here. They got blown out in their conference championship game, and if we're punishing people for that, that would be their third loss. Come on, I mean, we've all heard the arguments. That being said, if they go down in Norman and blow out the Sooners, I'm going back to every single Oklahoma fan who commented on our TikTok when John said that this Oklahoma team was not that good. And so far, only one Oklahoma fan came and said, no, that does make sense. Like in the playoffs, it could be a real problem not having an offense. That's it. That's it. Uh, I think I think Alabama will win this game, which won't help for it's Bama. They need to be in. But I think because you're going to be asked to score, and if Oklahoma gets tackled at the 5 on an interception, I think they're ending that drive with a field goal, and Alabama can get 17 points, I think.
Yeah, I the best case for Oklahoma is just a repeat of the first game, right? Like obviously because they won, but where your defense plays well enough and you catch some lucky breaks to steal some points here and there. So not again, not having an offense, it might as well just be like five high schoolers out there playing against an 11-man team. Like they don't have anything. But their defense is just so good, and Alabama's offense has not been operating very well either lately. I mean, Ty Simpson, after popping off in the first part of the season, has not really been great. They have zero ability to run the ball to the tune of -3 yards in the SEC championship game, which they were not punished for, which is totally normal. Definitely not logo bias there. Um, yeah, it's just two it's two stoppable forces going against each other.
I think here's the thing. Well, who do you think will win actually, John?
I think Alabama's going to win just because they fucking always do this where they fall ass backwards into a good situation because of the logo on their helmet and then they win and make me look like an asshole for saying they didn't deserve to be there.
I'm a little less okay. So first of all, like some context, right? This is an 8 p.m. Eastern time home game for Oklahoma and a playoff game. So it's like this is a locked in fucking crowd. Okay. Like, so I think this is not going to be an easy game for either team. Uh, Here's the thing is Alabama's problems, like, I don't see a game plan to handle them. They can't run the ball. I'm going to assume Jam Miller's not playing. Even if he was playing, their run game is still pretty spotty, like across the board, right? Oklahoma has a killer defensive line. The game plan to beat Alabama has been blitz the house, right? The head coach of Oklahoma is Brent Venables. If there's one thing I know he can do, it's blitz the fucking house, right? So I mean, I think Alabama can't is going to be in a defensive slugfest, but they can't run the ball. S and their special teams not good, or at least not consistent. They don't have a great kicker. Their punt team is up and down. Like if I'm gonna go into a defensive, if I'm gonna go into a defensive game, I'll take the team with better special teams, and probably the better ability to run the ball. The thing about Oklahoma is their offense has been bad, but also it feels like there's just a ton of missed opportunities every game with them. Like a lot of turnovers and penalties, but they still have like that home run ability with Isaiah Sategna, or how do you spell his last name? Is it?
That'll do.
Satania.
Yeah,
That'll sing.
yeah, yeah. I just think if it's gonna be a rock fight, I'll take the home team with the better special teams. That that at least they're like I can fathom a world where Oklahoma has a good offensive game because like ultimately their problems are a lot on John Mateer, but like he can have a good game. Like the problems with Alabama, like I don't see a game plan to fix it, you know?
I think hypothetically speaking, I could see the best thing they're doing, Alabama, is short their quick passing game. And if you're going to be under pressure the entire time by our Mason Thomas or whatever, then you're probably going to have to get the ball out quick. And that's what they want to do. So I think that isn't the worst matchup they could have for their defense, but we've seen it go wrong before. So I definitely see what you're saying. That being said, uh, I don't trust John Mateer to keep the game safe. They nearly
No,
blew it
yeah.
against LSU in their last time out. And I'm sure he's watched the film and said, like, well, obviously those are some big mistakes I can't make again. But it wasn't all him. I don't know about their offensive structure either against a solid Alabama defense. So I don't know. I think being the home team definitely does make an impact. I don't think Alabama wins this going away, but I definitely don't think this will be like a fun game to watch unless you're looking at the all 22. Two, I don't think that Oklahoma will be able to like have like that break in the fourth quarter that allows them to get one playoff. Because that's the thing. They're scoring in one play or not at all. And I don't think Alabama's gonna have that exact issue because they played Tennessee. They played Georgia earlier. Like I think they've been in more dogfights than Oklahoma and come out on top despite the record.
Yeah, I understand. Like I said, I think special teams will be the difference. I think
Hmm.
Bama special teams has been bad this year.
It
It's been a
has.
problem, and yeah, I just think Oklahoma special teams has been a difference maker for them more than once. So that's where I come out. But I mean, I hate that this is a rematch. Can I just say that? I hate that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah.
I wish it wasn't. I wish they had switched like Oklahoma and somebody else. Like I just wish we had gotten a different
Because
matchup for the sake of that.
as long as you keep the seed groups the same so that like 5 through 8 stay 5 through 8 and get their home game and 9 through 10 9 through 12 keep their same stuff so they have to go on the road. Why are you not just mixing and matching so that you don't generate rematches? Like
I know
why are there
Oklahoma and
two
Miami.
rematches in the first round? That's so fucking stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, but anyway, the point being, yeah,
Well,
we have two Bama
with
picks, we
the
have an Oklahoma pick. Yeah.
with the playoff field being wider, you're bound to have some rematches.
Yeah,
It just sucks that it feels like they moved heaven and earth to set this up. Like that sucks. Like it'd be one thing if it's like, oh wow, Alabama just snuck in. Like I don't think that's what happened.
Yeah. They didn't just sneak in. They actually didn't go down in ranking at all for losing their game. Um, but
Which
yes, yeah.
I'm still
Anyway,
mad about. That's never happened. Teams losing their conference championship without fail drop minimum one spot. And because Alabama bitched hard enough, even before losing that game, they were preemptively politicking about what should happen if they lose. And they fucking did. I hate it, man. I hate Alabama. They fucking suck.
well, anyway, we have two Bama picks. We have one Oklahoma pick. I guess we'll see. The next game is number 10 Miami at Texas A&M, the noon slot Eastern time. I think this is the best matchup of the first round, most interesting matchup, most coin flippy matchup. What do we think of this?
Really, one of these two teams should be replaced with Notre Dame, is what I think. Both of these
Shut
teams
up.
may have beat Notre Dame on the field, but they just deserve to be in, man. Fuck.
Yeah, we need to see Texas A&M play Notre Dame. We haven't seen that
Yes.
yet.
Yes.
Okay, but yeah, sorry, Josh. What were you gonna say?
I really like this matchup. I think Miami's offense can really get going against Texas A&M's defense, so that'll be fun to watch. I am excited for Marcel Reed to be in a blow it against Carson Beck game who could blow it himself. I think this could be a disaster, and one of these quarterbacks is launched into the sun for totally ruining a playoff game. I do like Texas A&M hosting. I think having a home field playoff game there, beautiful. I'm excited for that environment. Um, I am unsure what version of these teams we're going to get. Texas A&M has not been perfect, but they've found ways to win every game but the Texas game. And I don't think Miami has the structure to pull off a win like that on the road. So, I think I can't help it because the logos are the same. Think back to that game where Jimbo Fisher was still here and things were so miserable and like Miami, I can't even remember who won, but nobody left that game feeling good. And look how far these little old franchises have come.
I do trust Mike Elko to be able to fix some stuff in the 2.5, 3 weeks that they've had since the Texas game. Just because I think he's a good football coach, right? Like they've got a lot of time to work on stuff, get healthy. Like you guys said, I'm really excited for this game. Out of all four games, this is like the most appointment viewing, you know. If I had to rank the games 1 through 4 of what I'm most excited for, this is far and away number one. I'm
Yeah,
excited, like you said, Carson Beck, man. Who would have thought it? The
you're
four
gonna
million dollar man.
you're gonna be surprised by what I say here. So here's the thing. I see this as two very good defensive lines, right? Miami's defensive line is really good. Marcel Reed is very good at buying time. You know, my A&M's defensive line is very good. Carson Beck is far worse at buying time. Um, I like A&M's play calling offensively better. I think they manage pressure in general a little bit better, like defensive line pressure. I think they do a good job of that. They're at home. There's a lot of things going their way, but I think Miami's offense is a little bit more dynamic. They can push the ball downfield. They've got a decent screen game. And if they can get a run game that's material, I think that I trust Carson Beck to turn the ball over or just on a play to play basis make better decisions than Marcel Reed under pressure because I almost think in a weird way, the fact that he doesn't have like he can't buy time, forces him in general when he's under pressure to just get rid of the ball, do stuff like that. Marcel Reed being a playmaker is his best asset and liability at times, especially in that Texas game. You know, he forced balls because he has the ability to buy time. Um, So I'll say I think Miami will pull this off. I think Miami will pull this off. I think A&M towards the end of the year was not playing great football. They really almost lost that South Carolina game. They almost lost that. I mean, they did lose the Texas game. I'm gonna say Miami. I'm gonna say Miami, which is shocking because Carson Beck is the quarterback of Miami.
I'm going with Texas A&M. I like I said with Elko, I just think that they'll fix it. They've got the home game. You know, Kyle Field is going to be absolutely bumping. Like I I'm gonna I'm gonna boil it down to what you said about Marcel Reed and Carson Beck. Like
What do you think, Josh? You're going A&M?
I'm going A&M. Uh, I do wonder as we go into these next games, it's so hard to like pick up a trend from a playoff that's this is only the second year, but these home games are really tough. You're already the higher seed. You're putting a team on the road, and then you start looking at 5 versus 12, and you should expect like a quality difference there. So I'm curious what these road teams will perform like. And I just picked Alabama to win, but that would be interesting if they're the first in the storied tradition of road playoff wins.
I mean, if we're talking about potential trends, I mean, could Texas A&M be like Ohio State last year? Lose the one game all year that you really don't want to lose, and then you get a home playoff game and you go on a run? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I
listen,
don't think A&M's that good, to be clear, but like they're in a similar position starting out of the playoff.
You
they
know
are.
what? Thinking about like Will Howard and Marcel Reed, like they're kind of similar. Marcel Reed's a little bit more
They look
dynamic than
alike.
him with his feet, but like I could see if he taps into that Will Howard, like I'm not gonna fuck this up for anybody, and just like uses his legs and says like, all right, I'm done. He doesn't get greedy. Then I'm not saying they're Ohio State. I'm not saying that,
No, yeah. Here's my
but
thing.
it could look similar if it did go well.
Here's my thing. A&M has a puncher's chance against anybody on like overall talent composition. Um, they also, if they win this game, their next game's in Dallas. So they catch a good path if they win this game in terms of like just having home field advantage, kind of.
Hmm.
But that's getting ahead of ourselves. Anyway, yes. I'm picking Miami. So I just think that their offense has been way too inconsistent to close out the year to win this game. But anyway, next game, number 11 Tulane at number 6 Ole Miss at 3:30 Eastern time. What do we think of this? This is another rematch that sucked the first time. What do we think?
So the offensive coordinator left with Lane Kiffin. Is that correct?
No, he went back.
Oh,
They're letting him finish it out.
that was literally going to be the difference for me. So I'll go with Ole Miss simply because they'll be able to score a lot. And Tulane is physical in the trenches. Their defensive line looked really impressive all year. And I do think if Ole Miss gets into like clock killing mode and doesn't try and run up the score, they could be in trouble. Because I do like Tulane's offense to like kind of keep up for a quarter or two. Uh, but this one got nasty when it was played in like week 3, and I kind of expect the same thing, maybe not to the same degree, but I think Ole Miss should win this one by 10 or something.
Yeah, Tulane's been playing a lot better football since they played this game the first time, but I don't think it's enough to meaningfully change the outcome. I I'm just absolutely begging for Tulane and James Madison to put up a fight and lose by like a touchdown. If you're gonna lose, don't get blown out. I don't need to hear all these freak college football fans in the media talking about how we need to not have G5 teams in this shit.
That's right. Call them fate. Call them fate.
Yeah, they are.
I know it's really hard to pick against Ole Miss in this game. They've seen this team. They're at home. I would say that, Ole Miss's defense isn't that good, but Tulane's offense is just not productive enough, in my opinion, to win this game. And even Tulane's defense, when playing against like a spread, no huddle offense, they're not that they don't hold up well in that scenario. So it's just like a bad matchup. Like I almost feel like if Tulane was playing Oregon instead of Ole Miss, they would match up better in a game like that. But this is just not a good matchup for Tulane. I think you have to admit that like the Kiffin factor is there, right? Like him not being there has to matter a little bit. We don't know a lot about Pete Golding as like a head coach managing the game type guy. I'll go Ole Miss, but I could be surprised. That's what I'll say.
What is the recipe for Tulane to pull it off?
If they're able to run the ball and control the clock on this Ole Miss defense, they can hang in the game on that.
I think you probably need that and like +2 in the turnover margin.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking about the North Texas game, which is like when North Texas started like really pushing the ball downfield because they were desperate. Tulane really didn't hold up very well. And like that's just how Ole Miss plays the entire game. So I'm just like I don't know how they're gonna hold up. Um but yeah, I think if the game is mismanaged by Pete Golding, then Tulane can do this.
God, what a day that would be.
I would love
I
it.
would love it. I would love it so much. I want Tulane to win. I just want a G5 team to like win so I don't have to deal with the revisionist results based
The people who act like Power Four teams aren't regularly blown out in the playoffs.
yes, yes. But yes, I to give a little bit more color also, like I think Tulane has the better quarterback. Like if I'm choosing,
Wow.
Over Trinidad, dude.
yeah, I think so. I think so. As an overall
Hmm.
like playmaker for their offense, like running the ball a little bit, like being yeah, I think so. Trinidad is like I've seen a lot of Ole Miss quarterbacks be very productive under Lane Kiffin. Like
Hmm. Product of the system, not like a true
yeah, not that
gamer,
he's
I
bad.
guess.
He's not like a bad quarterback. I just think, Retzlaff's pretty solid and he brings a nice running element to their offense that I think is like good.
I don't know,
I didn't
man.
realize Retzlaff is their leading rusher this year.
Yeah, I mean, he's like a pretty strong, that's why I'm like, he's a pretty strong runner. And if they're able to control the clock with him, there's a way, there's like a path to them keeping this close, keeping this manageable?
Maybe Old Miss's defense struggles with a scrambling quarterback for a little bit of this. Like you said, they want to kill the clock, so they're trying to run the ball. And then I think about the games where they looked really good, like against LSU, who looked bad against a lot of people. But one of the big things was that their quarterback was not able to run the ball. Like they were just able to sit back and tee off on him. I don't know if you can do that with Jake Retzlaff. That being said, he could just be running for his life and falling forward. And I don't know if that's as productive as it sounds.
Yeah, I
So,
I I feel like Retzlaff is more of a designed QB run factor than a scrambling type
mhm.
QB. So I that's the thing is Ole Miss physical enough to hold up in the trenches against Tulane? I mean, probably. I want to say probably just on a talent composite basis, but like, yeah, it's there. It's an
Mhm.
option.
Okay. Well, hey, we took this game seriously, all right?
Yes, yes.
We take this game more seriously than we did Alabama, Oklahoma
That's
in a
true.
lot of
Yeah.
ways. So,
Yeah. We've got three Ole Miss picks, but we want to be wrong. Let's just say that.
Yes.
right.
Next game was number 12, James Madison at number 5, Oregon, 7:30 Eastern time. I think this is gonna be a bad one. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
Like
I don't think that we need to do that much.
I'll give JMU some options here, right? Oregon's receiver room is very beat up. Okay, they don't really have their guys. Dante Moore is a great quarterback, in my opinion, but he doesn't have great receivers to throw to right now. So it's whether they can run the ball. Now, Oregon was able to run the ball on Iowa on the road, so I'm gonna say that they can do that. Um, but JMU, if you're less sloppy, your offense can do this. I just, it's hard. I feel like Oregon's better from top to bottom, but you know, if you get in a shootout, if JMU's offense ends up being very productive, I actually don't know if Oregon can score in a shootout where they have to run a lot. When they have to throw a lot. Sorry, rather.
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of see that. I mean, that's got to be the path for JMU, but I mean, at a on a physicality level in the trenches, I think that Alonzo Barnett is gonna have some problems, we'll say, getting the ball out.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned. Their backfield is like 11 and a half feet standing on top of each other. Like Wayne Knight is little. He's very good, but he's little. And I think it could be one of those things where they just sell out to stop the run and he's asked to do everything. And I think this could look a lot like the Penn State Boise game, where like there's one team that's like in the lead the whole time, but you see like, okay, they're not getting a lot of yards, but they'll score a couple times and it'll be like they're trying to sled uphill, but the game's not going to be as far away as it could be. Like think back to that like Oregon Wisconsin game. Like where Oregon's like, "Hey, the game plan is to just get this thing over with." And then you look and it's what, 14-21 or something? So maybe something like that happens. But I think about Oregon in that USC game and just everything's falling. Like Kenyon Sadiq gets going, every wide receiver is on, like from your starters to your backups. You get a punt return because you're more like you have more depth than them on your special teams units. Like it could be a lot. Like this is a very tall order, and everyone needs to play their best game if you're JMU in order to keep this one like close. So I don't know. It depends what Oregon team shows up. And the thing is, nobody knows how to blow out a team they're better than like Dan Lanning. So I think this could get ugly if he wants to take it there.
Yeah, it needs to be a shootout. It needs to be JMU is offensively getting a lot of plays. They're forcing Oregon to throw the ball. Oregon can't just sit on the rock and run it. And Oregon's receivers are not able to be the playmakers that maybe their starters would. But here's the thing is JMU played against Troy and it was not a clean performance by
No,
JMU at all. Like
no.
so it's just like yeah. I'm sorry. I'm going to pick Oregon. I just don't see I don't see how JMU can do this.
Yeah, I
I,
think there's just so many versions of this game that get ugly for them. And I'll go with Oregon and not think twice.
I've got Oregon as well. This is another one I'd love to be wrong.
Oh, I would
I
love
would
to be
love
wrong
it.
about this. This would be a great one to be wrong about. So, Yeah, I think we've given some good color to everybody this for these picks. I will say also of compared to last season's playoff, where the teams that got the bye lost, I don't think that will happen this year. I don't see any of these teams from the 5 through 12 being national title teams. Oregon and maybe A&M being like the talent wise, maybe they could do it, guys.
Mhm.
But yeah.
I
Well,
could see Oregon doing it. A&M, I think, could maybe do it. I think a dark horse for that though is kind of Miami. I mean, if you look at teams that have won the national championship recently, a lot of it has to do with high-powered offenses. And I mean, Miami's got those playmaking receivers being thrown the ball by Sid the Sloth or whatever, but like
Yes.
they they could they could score enough points to maybe go on a run.
Yeah, I don't trust Cristobal in a big close game.
Right.
Like it's just
Yep,
the kid
absolutely
coaching
not.
factor. I just like he can't I don't think he's a good game manager.
well, I mean, maybe we'd look foolish if we did this last year, but out of the bracket that we have, what would be the most fun version of each of the second round games? Like Alabama, Oklahoma, winner has to play Indiana. Who would you rather see them go against?
Oklahoma. I would
Hmm.
like to see Oklahoma play Indiana. I think that would be a good game.
JMU, Oregon versus Texas Tech.
I'd like to see Oregon play Texas Tech. What about you, John?
Yeah. Yeah, the Oregon Texas Tech would be a fun game.
Georgia, Tulane, Georgia, Ole Miss.
Georgia, Tulane. It's just not a rematch.
Yeah, I'm a Georgia fan and just like I don't want to see Georgia Ole Miss. Yeah, let's Georgia Tulane.
Well, I'm sure you don't want to see Georgia, Ole Miss.
Yeah, that was a close game. I don't want to fucking do that again.
Here's a fun one: Miami, Ohio State, or Texas A&M, Ohio State.
I want to see A&M because it'll be in Dallas, and that's like the one they could take Ohio State in that context.
Yeah. That I also think even though I just 30 seconds ago hyped Miami up a little bit, now looking at the bracket, A&M is definitely a better matchup for Ohio State than Miami.
Well, Miami's D line is really good. If
That's true.
they can get in Sayan's face, like I don't think there. I think both teams could do it. I just think it's in Dallas. Like that's a huge home game for A&M if they get there. You know.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Mhm. Yeah.
Lots of fun in store. You know, the second season that we've stapled on, thanks to ESPN and so on and so on. Should be fun. As the season winds down, maybe we'll have, transfer portal news, more coaching news. Hopefully that's as wild as we'll ever get this year. Um, but I'm excited to see what we can do during this postseason into off season.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of room. I don't know.
Yeah.
College football always finds a way to be interesting.
Damn right.
So stick
Before
with us, Claw
Hey,
State CFB Pod.
damn right. Before we go, 3 o'clock Central on ABC, Montana State. FCS semifinals. First time the Brawl of the Wild has ever been in the playoffs. If the Tulane Ole Miss game at the same time goes a particular way, flip to that game. That's going to be a box office. The
They're
first
calling
time
it.
Montana State won barely. I'm excited.
They're calling it the biggest sporting event in the state of Montana. I'm there.
Awesome. Well, that's the pod.